The Dolphins last year, oh boy, three quarterbacks taken in the top 6, and they got the one that so far doesn't hold up as well in comparison to the other two.
No.
Do you think that I think they, barring a Deshaun Watson trade,
right,
they're keeping Tua. The question is it Tua and only Tua, or is it Tua with some sort of veteran relief pitcher like he had last year with Ryan Fitzpatrick?
I think you have to have that. I mean, you have to. Again, I don't want to make a final determination on Tua, but you said it right. It didn't speak to us to go, oh, wow, this is special what we're seeing. I'll say this concrete right now. He's not going to be Joe Burrow or Justin Herbert, ever. It's not going to happen. It's not. He's not that type of talent. They have special traits. Justin Herbert is a superstar. Like a Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes type of stuff. That's the type of throws he makes. So, yes, I would think they got to have, some sort of backup. And, the Deshaun Watson thing I think is very real, certainly still, if that does become available and an option and Houston starts, finally answering phone calls and all of that. But the Dolphins team as a whole, they've done a really good job in a short time. They've turned it around in a lot of areas where you look at it and you go, I like it. They're not bad. There's not one area I look at to go, holy cow, it's crappy. They can improve their offensive line, but they got some young guys who are also, they drafted in last year's draft, who are going to get better. The first and second round picks, they got offensive linemen. They need a wide receiver to help out Tua. If you want to make that investment, they need to surround him with some talent. And, of course, Devontae Parker's always kind of got the injury bug down there and had to deal with that too. So the support around him can certainly improve to help Tua out. But, yeah, they're going to have somebody, whether that's a Tyrod Taylor, again, an Andy Dalton, Fitzpatrick, if he's back. I would think Fitzpatrick would want to favor that and be back because he's probably seen Tua and go, he's not a better thrower than me. He's not better than me. So I want to come back here because I think I'll get a chance again to play.
Remember 3 weeks ago we talked to Tua and I asked him point blank, do you want Ryan Fitzpatrick to return? And he didn't answer the question. He danced around it. He never said yes or no about whether or not he wants Fitzpatrick back. Look,
which is a no.
What quarterback wants to be the starting pitcher and have some other guy who's going to be periodically called upon to come in and save your bacon? The mere fact that you would even suggest that they need a guy like that, whether it's Fitzpatrick, Tyrod Taylor, or someone else, the mere fact that that's even on the radar screen tells me, hey, you tried, and he's not the guy. Maybe give him one more year to see if he's the guy, but at some point you got to find out whether he's the guy, not the guy who's there until you bench him for the other guy. Either he's the guy or he's not, because in this day and age in the NFL, it is not sustainable to have a quarterback who isn't good enough to finish every game. And it hurts me to say it. We love Tua.
Yes.
We're big Tua fans.
Yes.
But you either have it or you don't. And if you don't have it to the point where they entrust you to be the quarterback wire to wire week in and week out, then that's not the answer. That's not the guy that the Dolphins need.
We
heard
it's
going to torment them. It's going to haunt them that they didn't take Justin Herbert. And Dolphins fans get mad when I say it, and I understand you don't want to deal with it. It's not a pleasant thought that you had Justin Herbert right there in the palm of your hand, and you could have had him.
Well,
and you didn't.
You were right. You were right during the year. I mean, that's what happens when owners make picks. That's what happens. I don't know. Again, and the owner got, Alabama quarterback, he's winning. Look at all these stats and all of that. And they got infatuated with just that aspect. Listen, if we went by that, every quarterback in Alabama for the last 12 years should have been the first pick of the draft. Like that, they win. Their stats are awesome. First pick of the draft. But the hype around Tua was so big that, they kind of fell into the trap there. Mike, there's people I trust in league circles that still don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities that they draft a quarterback again, too. I've heard just from enough people that I trust to think that that's still on their radar. I doubt it, but I do think it's been a topic of conversation down there nonetheless. And we'll see where it goes. Tua is awesome, but like they say in The Godfather, he's an awesome person. This is not personal. This is just business we're talking about here. We're talking about on the football field. He brings all the intangibles.
I didn't know which way you were going to go there when you mentioned The Godfather. I thought you were going to say Tua Tagovailoa sleeps with the fishes. I wasn't quite sure.
He's not Luca Brasi. He's not with the fishes yet.
But you owe it to yourself holding that third overall pick that you kind of lucked into with the Laremy Tunsil trade. Nobody expected the Texans to be that bad last year. So here you are. Hey. All right, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, likely the first two off the board. What are we going to do with the third pick? Let's evaluate all the quarterbacks. Hey, maybe they decide to make the Jets an offer they can't refuse to stick with the Godfather theme and flip-flop and get Zach Wilson. But I think you owe it to yourself to be objective, to not compound your mistakes by refusing to admit your past mistake. Good luck getting Stephen Ross to do that if Tagovailoa was a Ross prerogative pick. And, maybe you do find somebody better. It's better to do it now than to give it a year if you know in your heart that it's just not going to be there. It's just not going to work. I think we got so caught up in Tua Tagovailoa's health that maybe some of these teams didn't take that broader step back and ask themselves, are the tools really there if he is healthy to be the kind of guy that's going to thrive at a high level in the NFL?
I think that's fair. And listen, as an evaluator, I've fallen into the trap too before. But I've tried to learn through my years being out of the NFL to not fall into those traps and see it for what it is. Oh, wait, there's a guy wide open? Okay, all right. Well, yeah, that was a nice throw, but I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, my gosh. Whoa, like he hit the wide open guy that's going to be a top 12 pick in the draft, and he didn't have to read a defense, and the pocket was perfect and all that. You heard my case last year with this conversation. There was very little NFL caliber throws, in my opinion. And what I mean by that is, pocket collapsing, not big windows, not a lot of separation for a guy to be open, and he got it in there. And with Justin Herbert and like guys like Joe Burrow, Joe Burrow was in LSU and certainly had a lot of guys wide open. But, man, he had so many plays where it was like 1-2, nobody's open. Let me flip to the third side. Ooh, the third guy's open by 3 inches. I'll throw it in there, and boom, and it looks great, and we don't think anything of it. But it's like, oh, my gosh, that's an unbelievable play. And that's the same thing with Justin Herbert. There were so many plays he delivered where I go, nobody's open. There's nothing. And he's throwing a perfect missile down the field, and it's a 40-yard gain. And then even on some of the incompletions where people were on him where, he throws too many incompletions. Well, where is he supposed to throw it? Everybody's covered. And then he'd throw a ball in a safe spot where maybe his guy could get it or no one could get it, but it's an incompletion, and it's a negative stat, so people just ride with that. And that's where you can't fall into that trap as an evaluator as a quarterback.
I still don't think the average fan fully appreciates how difficult it is to walk up to the line of scrimmage. You lived it. You've been there. You walk up to the line of scrimmage. You have to figure out, first of all, are all your guys in the right place?
Right.
That's job number one. Are any of my guys screwed up? Am I screwed up? Am I lining up under the guard or the center?
Right.
And then you got to figure out what the defense is trying to do before the snap. Where is everybody?
Yep.
Where are they going to be? Are they trying to fool me? What look are they giving me? What's it going to become? Who's the mic? All the other stuff you have to process and hope that your offensive line is processing it in sync with you. And then you get the ball in your hands, and all hell breaks loose.
Right.
And you're trying to figure out which of your targets is open as you cycle through them while you're taking the leap of faith that your blockers are going to keep Myles Garrett in company, in full armor, from killing you.
Yeah.
And then you've got to deliver an accurate pass to the one guy who's maybe open by that much. It's unbelievable that anyone can do it at a high level.
I mean, again, I was nothing special. I had a chance to be good and all that type of stuff. But even I would sit there some days after a game and maybe played well and go back and go, man, I don't know how the hell I made that play. I don't know how I did it. When you just think back about it. But it's about playing, getting used to the game. And, of course, when we talk about guys like Burrow and Herbert and the top young quarterbacks, they're special. And to like something you always say, the game, they have the ability to be comfortable no matter what and slow the game down, and really not see snapshots, but now they're seeing a slow motion picture or something like that. And it's just in harmony that way. And to me, that's what Burrow and Herbert were very special at. They were never, flustered. Tua, of course, not a lot of big-time throws, was jumping in the pocket at times, all that. And as we saw, they had to manage him, greatly. They really did. And when we saw when Ryan Fitzpatrick would come in, he'd be throwing the balls all over the field. It was the same plays, but aggressive frame of mind, just the ability to anticipate and make those throws. That's something that Tua didn't have to do much at Alabama. So we'll see where he goes. I'm not giving up on him, certainly, but I do feel confident to say that he's not going to be the player Burrow or Herbert is at any point in his career.
It has become a very harsh reality for NFL quarterbacks. You don't get 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And
No.
as I've said many times, under today's standards, Terry Bradshaw would have been back in Shreveport working at Walmart. Nothing against working. I'm just saying he would have had a normal job, just like when Tom Brady said, I don't want to sell insurance. He would have had a normal job.
Yeah.
He would not have been a professional athlete under today's standards. You don't get that 5 years to figure out how to play football, because that's the key. To get to the point where you're comfortable making those decisions in that moment, some people need more reps than others to get to that point.
That's right.
And you got to slow it down quickly, and you got to start making those decisions quickly, and you got to study, and you got to work, and you got to do virtual reality. You got to do all this stuff that gets you to the point where you can make those decisions, get rid of the football, and keep it going over and over and over again.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.